So, what is my viewpoint on suffering? Hey guys, John here in the fabulous John of New Studios in Akron, Ohio. And I got this video comment that I want to respond to because it's a good one. It's one that I think that it could be a pretty good topic. What is my viewpoint on suffering? I love the question in a big way. Let me read the whole comment, though. What is your viewpoint on suffering? I don't feel we were made to go through this personal suffering or go through the personal pain we do with God being love and us being so powerful. Well, this is a great comment. And the reason this is a great comment because there's a lot in it, right? What is my viewpoint on suffering? That was the first part of this. What is your viewpoint on suffering? The important part of that is the your, right? Each one of us has our own viewpoint on suffering. Each one of us comes to our own creation into our world. Am I meant to suffer? Am I made to suffer? Right? We're not made to suffer. We're not made to suffer at all. But we come here and we experience our suffering out of our fears and anxieties. We come here and we suffer in our world, and we live into the struggles of life. But it's what we believe and what we react around what happens in our lives that create the outcomes. Now, I am a firm believer that I get to create my life and create my experience, and have done so for years and years, decades, in fact. You know, I left and went and became a Renaissance Festival performer. I got pretty well known. There's magazine articles, and I traveled the world. I went to 16 countries with the USO doing that show. But that is because I loved what I was doing, and I leaned into me creating. I am becoming a successful stage show. That was something that I was creating. When I decided to become a spiritual speaker, I was picked up. I was talking all over the country. When I decided to become a corporate speaker, I got picked up. I spoke all over the world. When I came back to being back to my spiritual work and my authentic nature, my channel in 2 years has gone from 0 to 16,000 subscribers. It all comes down to, are we made to suffer? There is no external God who made us in an image to suffer. No, we are a part of God. We live with God. We experience God. And in living and experiencing God, we come to this space of understanding that whatever we ask is given. But when we live in reaction to our experiences, when we live in reaction to various things, we then will suffer. Then the next argument that I'll hear from this video, if I didn't say this is what I would hear next. No child was meant to suffer, and they came into this world. They didn't make a choice. Da, 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 da. That is linear thinking in a physical world. We live an eternal life. We choose potential pathways, but we always have free will with the pathways we choose. And in choosing the pathway, we get to experience living into whatever life our free will create. We can come into a life suffering, and the experience we have is overcoming that suffering. We can come into this world with no suffering, and the experience we can have is to show people how to have no suffering. We can choose, we can choose anything. I was telling a story one time. I was working with inner city kids up in Cleveland, and one day I was teaching acting, and one day I was saying, let's talk about, actors draw from their life experiences. Tell me a negative memory from your life. And I was sitting there and I was listening to children talk about how they were beaten unconscious by their stepfather with the butt of his gun, and the one to my left she watched her sister get shot. And I kept hearing all these horrible stories. Directly across the circle from me was this young girl just bawling her eyes out. And I said, "Are you okay?" She says, "Yeah, I never knew how good I really had it. I never knew how good I really had it." And that's what made her cry. By hearing all these stories of these things, right? Now, they all have these experiences. Now, one of those kids in that group was a real troublemaking kid. Really, he was going down a bad road. And by the end of that summer camp, he decided to become an actor and went on and became an actor. And that beautiful. He changed his life by his choice and his free will. We're not made to do anything. There is no God who's dictating our lives like a puppet master. We come here, we have experience, and what we do with that experience is up to us. And we're not made to suffer. We're not made to live into those sorts of things. God is love. God gives us exactly what we ask for. Sometimes we ask for potential lives that start off rough. And sometimes we ask for lives that are beautiful. And sometimes we have lives that are normal. But once we're here, we have complete free will to take it wherever we want to go. Because that is the nature of our divinity, the nature of our oneness with God. And so we come to that space of realizing that you can ask mountains to move and they'll move. Nothing's impossible for you. When you pray, believe you shall receive, and you shall. You get to create. But you're not made to suffer. That is a justification for why your life is so bad. But in reality, you can change your life. There's a YouTube video of a man who was born with no bottom half of his body. And it was on one of the, American Idol type of shows. And there was he had recorded this motivational speech. But the whole time they were playing the motivational speech, he was doing gymnastics. This man had no bottom half of his body, and he was doing amazing feats of muscularity. Anything's possible. It's only a matter of you choosing and believing and then receiving. So you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya.